Hi there and welcome to another relatively short car cleaning guru video in which I'll be running through the products and procedure I recently used to rid an old Mitsubishi interior of some minging mould, proving it's not always about soaping up snazzy supercars. The car had been sitting unused for a number of months, and the combination of that inactivity and the damp, dingy winter days meant that the interior had managed to slowly transform itself into an automotive petri dish, and one that I unfortunately had the job of thoroughly sterilising. The passenger seat was the most heavily contaminated area, either due to condensation from the inside of the windscreen dripping down onto it, or there being a previous spillage in the fabric that the mould was now feasting on, but the steering wheel was also doing its best to serve as a medium on which the gross greenery could colonise. And while admittedly it does look pretty horrific up close and personal in high definition, mould, due to its fragile composition, is actually pretty easy to remove from the interior of a car compared to other more stubborn contaminants, provided appropriate products are used alongside the correct technique. The two main products in my fungus fighting arsenal here were a simple all-purpose cleaner diluted 1 to 10 with water, and a designated enzyme-based cleaner designed for the removal of biological soiling, as well as a couple of stiff bristled detailing brushes and microfibre towels. First, I sprayed the seat with the all-purpose cleaner to help break down and remove the bulk of the mould prior to treating what remained with the biological cleaner. Following the application, it was left to dwell on the mouldy fabric for a few minutes before being vacuumed off with a Crevice Tool. When using either a Numatic Henry or George this way, I don't worry too much about the small amount of moisture being taken into the machine, as any previous dust and dirt collected in the bag will serve to soak it up and keep it away from the motor. However, I would change the bag and clean the filter after vacuuming up mould to prevent potentially harmful spores from being recirculated during subsequent use. Once the main body of mould had been lifted off, the area was then treated with the biological cleaner to help kill what remained at source. It was liberally applied to the seat via a trigger spray, with particular attention being paid to the area where the majority of the mould originally was. In order to make using this kind of product worthwhile and ensure the enzymes do their job properly, it should be left to soak on whatever biological soiling is being dealt with for a decent period of time, so that's exactly what I did here. While it was soaking, I used a small toothbrush-like stiff bristled detailing brush to agitate the cleaner and make sure any remaining unseen mould in the fibres of the upholstery was dislodged and broken up prior to removal. Once soaked and agitated, I thoroughly vacuumed off the seat with the narrow Crevice Tool once more to extract the cleaner and remaining mouldy residue, again paying particular attention to the areas where the mould had taken a foothold. Passenger seat attended to, it was then time to move on to the steering wheel, where I used the same two products but in reverse order. The reason being that although the biological cleaner is safe to use on hard surfaces, I wasn't sure what finish it would leave on the worn old wheel, whereas I know the exact finish my diluted all-purpose cleaner would. So the biological cleaner was first liberally sprayed directly onto the soiled steering wheel, and while this may look a little careless, on an old vehicle like this which was changing hands for a few £100, I really wasn't too concerned with keeping things especially neat and tidy, but simply with removing the mould so it at least appeared usable. Once applied, the cleaner was again left to sit for a few minutes while the enzymes waged war on the mould spores, before being worked in with a soft bristled detailing brush and thoroughly wiped over with a dry microfibre towel. To avoid unnecessary overspray, you can of course apply directly onto the towel before working over the surface, or do as I did here and hold the towel directly behind the area being treated to catch the majority of it. With the mould now removed from the wheel, I followed up with the diluted all-purpose cleaner to lift off any remaining biological cleaning product residue that I wouldn't want left sitting on an area like this, as well as to leave a genuine finish, and obviously a fresh microfibre towel was used here to prevent any mouldy remnants being recirculated over the wheel. Demoldification complete, I then grabbed the Fruity Berry Blast fogging air freshener to tackle the remaining damp odour and leave the interior smelling fresh. Off camera, I also started the car up and let it tick over with the hot blowers on for 10 minutes to ensure the interior, and in particular the seat, was thoroughly dried off, as any remaining damp could cause the mould to quickly re-emerge. Really, this was just a quickie on a ropey old car being sold for a few quid, and so I was never going to go mad, but at the same time I didn't want to pass up the opportunity of capturing the mouldy ecosystem in all its stomach-churning glory. There's obviously no getting around the fact that the car remains somewhat neglected, but with an hour or so spent removing the greenery that previously lurked inside, the old beater now at least didn't look like it was home to Fungus the Bogeyman. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll be back again soon with some slightly less disgusting car cleaning action.